MLB The Show just dropped its April monthly awards program, and in that program became a lot of cards and the Lightning Matt Chapman. So in this video, let's just break down all the cards that we're going to get, what it takes to get Matt Chapman, and the best cards you can do for your budget squad. Let's go. Okay, so looking at it, the first things you're going to get are the captain cards. And for the captain cards, we got the pitcher Mark Pryor, who is a 95. These are the first 95 overall captains. These are probably the highest we'll see captain cards as 95s. I think we're going to get new ones every month, so maybe they'll jump up. But Mark Pryor is the pitcher's monthly awards captain. Not bad. Overall, they're 95 on the forward seam. He's got the change velocity, only 4 pitches. If that bothers you, probably not the best card in the world, but he does have 107 hit stamina and 100 hits per 9. So that kind of works there. Control, he's gonna have a decent sized part. It's not gonna be very, very small. So he might work if you're in the lower levels. I don't think he's gonna do incredibly well, but that slurve is gonna break like a mother. So keep that in mind. However, good old Carlos Santana is out here, and he's going to be taking names. Max clutch, so he'll have 125 contact against both, but 117, 125 on the contact, 81 power, 111 power. Again, 125 clutch, so he could bat third in your lineup and not have any worries about it. He might be the catcher for at least the small portion. And by the way, if you have the Derek Jeter card like I do for Captain Boost, he's going to get a nice little boosty boost from Derek Jeter. So keep that one in mind as well, but he is definitely out here juicing. He might be starting catcher worthy. Moving on to the first pack, these 85s. Let's just start here with the Strata here. 125, 105, 87, 80, 73. Clutch is 95. It'll drop it a little bit. So with 90 speed, he can probably be in leadoff slot if you really want him to. Then he doesn't really have to worry about that clutch coming into play, but not a bad card, a decent utility player. He'll play second, he can play third, he can play short, and he can play left. So hey, not the worst thing. And he's got decent enough speed to where if you really want to use him, he'll be fine with 90 speed, 90 steal, and 91 base running aggressive. It's not the worst card. I think Brandon Marsh here needed it, should have gotten 97 or 98. He led the league and I want to say OPS for the longest time, but at least they gave him a card. I think this is one they kind of got wrong, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I've always liked Brandon Marsh. Maybe it's my angelism showing, but next card in the pack is pitcher Justin Steele, 102, 106 stamina hit per 9. Again, yeah, he's done decent enough. He was 4-0 with an ERA under 2. 4-seam. He's got a 4-seam slider, seeker, sweeper change, and circle change. Okay, decent enough control. Not par is going to be decent enough sized. Pitch break. He's that slider's get the slider and sweeping curve are going to be doing well. It's a lot of lateral movement. Decent enough card. He's left-handed. Again, the one thing to keep in mind though is a lot of these captain boosts do boost lefties, so keep that one in mind. Then we got Zach Zakwinski here, 90, 60, 125, 90 with 125 clutch. He can hit lefties and righties. Again, we're talking about budget here. It's gonna be that. It'll be fine. He's got 82, 71, so he might be a decent enough bench bat, maybe a DH. I really don't know. He's got gold fielding. He's got reaction. That's not the greatest, but Jack had a top style card last year that was really good. So this card will probably be about the same. He's got decent enough power, a right-handed specialist, so not the worst card in the world. Again, they're really weird with some of these ratings, but again, I think the clutch makes up for it. So again, low contact, if they're middle of the order hitters, it don't really matter a whole lot because he's gonna have 125 clutch both sides anyway. Last picture of the 95 pack is reliever Alex Young, 27 stamina, 108 hit per 9. A lot of stuff over the 99. He throws fairly hard. Not really as fast as his fastball is 93 with the cutter. So circle change is primary, sinker, curveball. So he's got the sinker cutter combo. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I really don't know. Par on the cutter is going to be the lowest at 77. But everything else, it's hard to complain with some of these free cards along the way, but it'll be decent enough. Again, there's the control, there's the break. Again, not the worst thing. He's gonna have movement, so keep that stuff in mind. But again, it's a free card. I don't think we're in the right to complain a whole heck of a lot. All right, moving down the program here, more 95s. So you get 4 of the 95s. How many other 1, 2, 3, 4? So you get all but you get all of them. Unlike last year, where it was like you only got 3 and then you had to do the back end. So that's kind of different. All right, let's start with the 97s. In the 97 hack, we got Yiner Cano. He's got 28 stamina, 120 hit per 9, 99s across the board, 99 velo. He's going to throw incredibly hard. The kid was amazing. Sinker, circle change, slider, four seam. There's the control, 94, 90, 87, 84. Again, good control. And his pills are gonna move. 3 of the 4 have 99 break. Everything's gonna move. He throws hard. He's definitely probably gonna be in your bullpen. Next up, we got Yandy Diaz. Yandy, contact wise, 111, 79 power wise, 92, 111. Okay, with 100 clutch. Again, he'll learn to hit lefties. It'll bring the contact versus righties down. But again, I think this guy, it's decent enough. Again, kind of like a utility guy. But we'll see. He plays first base, and yeah, decent enough card. Again, I think he should have been flipped with Marsh, but again, beggars can't be accusers. Next up, Jonah Heim, who is playing in Anaheim this weekend. He terrifies me. Contact wise, 85, 125, 95, 94 on the power. His clutch is 125, so he might, again, he could be a starting catcher. Just throwing that out there. He's a switch hitter. And 125 clutch, stick him in that 4 or 5 spot, switch hitter. Just saying, the budget catchers are going to be coming and going, man. Let me tell you what. And he's got decent arm, good feeling. Not the worst case of your budget with a budget catcher. Jared Kelenic, somebody else people were kind of angling for. He hits fastballs incredibly well, and this is a beefy Kelenic card. I really wish they had both Kelenic and Marsh, but again, I don't know what to say. All right, 94, 121 on the contact, 99, 102 on the power. His clutch is 99. Again, this guy I would say is in that lead off to maybe bottom of the order range, but it's weird with clutch because I kind of wish at this point I wouldn't mind them being like, hey, we'll drop it down a little bit and give him a little bit more on the clutch, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year. But again, not the worst card in the world. Gold fielding. He could be, again, I think talking about budgets and left field, not the worst card in the world. Decent enough speed. Could be a decent placeholder guy if you're into that kind of thing, or if you don't have like a God Squad center left fielder or outfielder. He might not make the God Squad, but he's decent enough. Next up, Jorge Mateo, who could be a starting shortstop. Honestly, 100, 111 on the contact. 108, 81, and his clutch is 89. If he's leading off for you at that 99 speed, the 99s across the board on the speed, that's not gonna make a difference. He's not gonna be really in a position to where guys are gonna be in scoring position more than likely. So I think it'll work just fine. He goes from a balance hitter to a power hitter. Not the worst thing in the world. But again, I think this card could be starting shortstop worthy, even if you're like the biggest whale in money spent guy. He's gonna make your team, at least in part because he's playing basically every position apart from first base and catcher. Finally, James Outman. This guy was on a tear towards the end. Contact wise, 91, 117, 105, 80 on the power. His clutch is 90. But again, he's one of those guys where I think varieties, just for variety's sake, isn't bad. You're getting a lot of options. A lot of them seem to be kind of similar. But nevertheless, it'll get the job done. For the most part, he's a center fielder. He's gonna have diamond. He's gonna have the diamond underneath him. He's got good enough reaction. He might make the budget team, but again, I think placing these guys in the lineup matters a lot. So I would say pick and choose where you want to use him. He might be decent enough in like a 2-hole hitter. That's personally where I see this guy. But again, that lower clutch kind of makes it kind of like maybe he should lead off. Who knows? It kind of depends. But it depends on how you really want to center it. I think he's decent enough to at least make it as we go. All right, moving along here. Here are the cards. The 98s you're gonna get for free. Brett Rooker, the bright spot for the A's. 95, 125, 93, 141, both sides for power there. Clutch 93. Okay, I don't think it necessarily matters, but hey, there you go. If he leads off and in, he's gonna be a beefy guy on both sides of the plate. He can play first, center, and right. He's mainly a center fielder. He's got bronze shield, so take that for what it's worth. He's probably gonna have common fielding at first base, but DH, he might be that. Next up, Jose Alvarado, because good Lord, we needed a lefty, didn't we? All right, so looking at Alvarado 25, we know what Alvarado is going to do. He's going to throw hard, sinker, cutter, 12-6, and a 2-seam. Control is decent enough, as we all know. There's the break. You're going to see a lot of Jose Alvarados coming for at least till we get set 3. All right, moving down the list, a guy who I think could have been also the Lightning player, Luis Arias, with the 38 batting average. He only hit a home run, but it was for a cycle. So he's got 125 both sides of the plate, power wise 78, 73, clutch 125. He can bat wherever you want him. He might be a 2-3 hitter, kind of depending. He can play second, he can play first, he can play all the infield spots plus left. It really depends on how, again, this all depends on how your lineup is and what you got. If you're still rocking charisma cards, you might not even use them. I liked his swing when he was power and he was supercharged. I think he's a decent enough player. He might not be the second base type guy, but let me tell you, if you're all about the contact and hard hits, this is going to be the guy for you. Let me tell you. Next up, Zach Gallen, baby. Zach Gallen, 103, 104, stamina and hits per 9. Pitches, 4-seam, knuckle curve cutter, circle change, and a slider. There's the control. Decent enough control. Slider might give you a little bit of problems, but that's no problem. There's the break across the board there. His breaking pitches will definitely move. So keep that in mind. He might be a decent enough starter for the back end. Who knows? You might want to throw him in there, see how he does. But I think he's good enough. Now, this is where the controversy, I think, is going to be. Not because Matt Chapman got the card, but because of how they did him. I think they did him a little bit dirty. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. But, well, here it is. 114, 125 on the contact, 95, 102 on the power, 82 speed. I don't know why they did that. His clutch is 101. Fielding's good, but I think the clutch is going to bring him down because when you're thinking about him, you think he's going to be like a 3-4 hitter. And with that clutch, with the clutch being lower, you're probably a little tempted not to. Again, I don't know necessarily what they're doing with some of these cards. It feels like their power, there's no power scaling. This feels like there's a little bit of power scaling because, truth be told, if they said these are the numbers we have to work with, I'd much prefer them giving me 101 power or 101 contact versus left and then 125 clutch. Then I feel a little bit better, especially because he's a 99 player of the month card. Like, let him have it. And plus, he's got secondary short. If you really want, if you have chipper, I would say DH 1, play 1 at third. Really depends on what you want to do. You can play him at short if you really want to. He'll still have the gold shield. But that's all that for that. To get him, you can play the event. You get 1 star. There's some stat missions here. You can get extra base hit saves and all that stuff. They're kind of, if you want to do that, there are missions, there are parallel missions you can get with all these cards, of course, with the captains and stuff, kind of like how the old days were. There's moments that I would suggest everyone do because there's how many moments are there? Usually 1 per card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 moments, and that's multiplied by 2. So you can get 36 stars just from the moments alone. I think that's going to give you to here. So you'll get, I think, all the 95s. So if you do all the 95s, if I did my math right, because 18 times 2 is, unless there were some that were 1. No, they're all 2, right? Yeah, they're all 2. And there's 18. So 18, like I said, 18 times 2, I believe, is 36. So that'll get you all the 95s. And then if you throw them on your team, whether it's the event, which I would say do anyway, because that'll gain, you can double dip, which we all know is fun. Also, this collection, if you just finish the Tops Now program, you get the 2 other 95s, and that'll give you 15 stars. So just by playing the game alone, you're just by doing the mission, just by doing finishing the Tops Now and stuff, you're gonna get 36 plus 15. You're gonna get 51 stars just from doing that, and that'll put you right about here at 50. So you only have to do 100. And then again, if we're doing the program, which let's just jump into the program really quick and show you what those are and wrap this up because this is going a little longer than I wanted to. So in the event wise, thanks for telling me. So let's go into the event here. Looking at the event for it, collection rewind. If you get that, you got good old Matt Carpenter. A little bit lacking, but it's Tops Now card. That's how these kind of are, unfortunately. Decent enough. Sean Manaea there, if you're into that kind of thing. There you go. Not too concerned there. And if you get to 50 wins, you get some stubs. I think this is only, I want to say this, is this a week? I did not mean to do that. Is this a week? Ends May 12th. Yeah, it's a week. So knock it out if you're into that kind of thing. I would say do it at least to get some stuff for the program. And then for Tops Now, here are the cards for Tops Now. Drew Maggie, TJ Fredel, Tanner Bybee, I think that's his name, Nick Senzel, Bretton Doyle, Marcusio Durbin, Andrew Vaughn, Alex Cobb, and then Cal Raleigh. And these are the 2 cards you need for that collection. I'd say knock these out, get that free collection done, and all that fun stuff. The missions are pretty simple. Just get 1,000 XP, throw them onto it. And there's a new conquest map for the Seattle Mariners. So there's plenty enough to do this weekend and go into next week for good old set 2. All right, thanks for checking out this video. Leave a comment down below what your favorite player of the month card was. Was it Kelenic? Or was it Kelenic? Was it Chapman? Do you think they did Chapman dirty overall? Let me know down below in the comments section down there. Leave a like, all that fun stuff. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.